Hello guys, it's me Jay, and today we're going to be taking a look at Lego Transformers Sprung. Now, Sprung here is a green helicopter, a green futuristic helicopter, which some Transformers fans might remember was the alt mode of the actual character named Sprung in Transformers Energon, at least the Japanese version, which is called Transformers Super Link. There was a character named Sprung, and he turns into a green helicopter. This guy basically kinda is a riff on that. He doesn't have any back rotors, but other than that, he looks like feasibly what a helicopter would look like. He has spinning rotor blades on top, so you can make it free spin. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the rotors. The cockpit is a simple cockpit with a single blue cockpit piece. I don't know what this is called, with some gun. It has a forward-facing gun, and it's pretty. It looks pretty sleek. One of the sleekest things I ever made. It is thick over here, but going downwards to the tail, it kind of looks thin until you look at it from the top, and it's like, oh, it's very thick. Huh. Unfortunately, Sprung does suffer from a bit of exposed hand syndrome, as in these are the robot mode hands, and they just kind of stick out. What I can do is I can rotate them inwards to give the illusion, to give the sort of, to give the sort of illusion of to make the hands disappear. But it's still pretty noticeable. Other than that, there's not really that much wrong with this with his alt mode. Now for a size comparison, here we have Sprung next to a minifigure, Pinshot, and Shuffler. And we can see that he is the biggest out of the four. He's actually the biggest Transformer I made until this point. There are others which are bigger than this, but you'll see those guys later down the line. Well, that's it for the helicopter mode. So it's time to transform him. Transformation for him is unique, and in a way it kind of reflects Generation 1 Springer. Yeah, you'll see why in a moment. So, first off, what you want to do is that you want to position these so that they are kind of, so that the whole helicopter forms a cross. Then you want to take the legs, the what will be the legs, and you split them apart. Then you rotate this piece so that it forms a foot. Do the exact same thing over here. Then you rotate them and you make it so that these pieces, so that this part faces inward, it curves, so that this part will curve inward. Do the same thing on the other side. You take it and you rotate it so that curve faces inside. Now we go to what is obviously the arms, and hey, there's a little face staring back at you. So first you want to rotate the arms outward and kind of make him look like he has giant shoulder pads. But he does not have giant shoulder pads. You take the arms and you fold them out, and then you grab you grab this section and you bring it down, effectively exposing the arm. And then you rotate the fist. Do the exact same thing on the other side. Bring it down, rotate the fist, and there you have a hand. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I always forget this part. Sorry. Go back to that one step. that one step before, because I actually mistransformed this guy. So before you put the arms down, you bring these helicopter blades inward, underneath what are the armpits. Now you bring the arms down. I'm sorry I missed that step. Then you fold this whole section up and you bring the legs down. Finally, you take this whole thing and just flip it back. And here we have Sprung in his robot mode. Now, if you think that he looks oddly familiar, that's not just the nostalgia. He actually looks like Generation 1 Cosmos. I did not intentionally make Sprung look like Cosmos. It was just a coincidence. I mean, the red bullet of a head, combine that with the green and the yellow and the pudgy proportions, he basically looks like what would happen if Cosmos finally decided to take an Earth mode other than his weird UFO mode, which is kind of contradictory to the whole robots in disguise tagline. But anyways, let's take a look at Sprung's articulation. Articulation for Sprung is actually he actually is very posable. The head has such little clearance, very little clearance that he can actually look left and right, but it's limited to like a 30-degree angle. So he can look he has a swivel head, but he can only look very limited. Kinda sucks. His arms are on his shoulders are on ball joints, which allows him to move the arm outward that much. And there is a hinge-like mechanism that allows the arm to move up that much. And in case you hadn't had enough of the arms going in weird directions, because due to transformation, this whole thing can move inward. Yeah, but that's not really meant for posability, that's more for transformation. What is posability is this elbow, which goes slightly over 90 degrees, both front and back. And as for transformation, he can rotate his fists. No waist articulation, except if you want to technically count this as an not ab crunch, the arcing back, there we go. Due to the way his legs are designed, he can shift his legs forward. He can shift them forward that much and back about that much, so you can get some natural poses from the legs. He can kick. He can kick forward that much, and he can kick back that much. Yeah, that is a constant problem. The ball joints I'm using here are kind of tight, so it'll often pop off. But that's not the end of the world. He can also do more than he can actually perform a perfect splits and a little more if you are good with it. And finally, he has a hinge at the knee. No real foot articulation otherwise. And that's the possibility that he has. And honestly, you can put him into a variety of good poses. Although there is one glaring problem, which I think many of you have noticed by now. Yes, for all of you Johnny the Hong stands, I believe you know what I'm going to say. The back. Yeah, the back is not the cleanest, especially with this hunk of stuff on his back. It doesn't hinder the posability whatsoever, and he does have a good amount of balance. He can actually bend back a good lot because of the heels and how the feet are designed. But the backpack is kind of an eyesore, but it is supposed to go there. There's no real way, at least in there's no way at least that I found how to remove this backpack, how to make it smaller. So unfortunately, this is just one drawback. Yeah. But it's not a total waste, because what I've done is that I basically made it removable so that you can actually put it in his fist, not on the fist, but rather on the exposed stud here. I'm not sure if that shows up on camera. And you can basically have him use it as a weird gun weapon. Is it impractical? Yes. Is it ingenious? Yeah, I would say so. One more thing before we move on. One more thing before we move on. I really like how I was able to put the helicopter blades as a part of the chest. Like it forms abdomen to make him a bit more pudgier. Now it's not by much, but yeah, it really adds that whole it looks like Cosmos effect, especially when you compare it to the original animation model, which I'll put up right here. So with that out of the way, let's get into some size comparisons. Earlier I said that Sprung was the largest transformer I made to date, and it really shows here. Here he is next to a minifigure and Shuffler. Sprung just dwarfs Shuffler. He is at least twice Shuffler's height. Which I have to say is pretty amazing, considering that even the helicopter mode was quite long. At the end of the day, Sprung is just a great little transformer which I made, which I somehow made 3 separate references in one bot. I don't know how, it was just a mere coincidence, but I love it nonetheless. If you made it this far into the video, I suggest you leave a like and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. If you want to check out any more of my LEGO Transformers, you can go down to the playlist, which will be linked in the description, so that you can watch all my previous LEGO Transformers. You can also check out my channel, and you can watch a bunch of stuff. This channel wasn't always LEGO Transformers related, but it is good. So, I think that's it. So, until next time, this has been Jay, and I'll see you next time.